Hello, good afternoon, televiewers of My Media Prime, and welcome to the maiden edition of House of Commons, a program that is going to be dedicated to discussing the issues plaguing Cameroonians across the nation and out of this nation. We are going to be discussing the problems of the people and voicing possible solutions to see how to better the living conditions of our people, with panelists who are going to make it a duty to be here every Sunday at midday to discuss on burning issues. For this maiden edition, we have all the way from Kumba, Mohammed Suleiman. He is of the SDF District 2. Kumba 2 district yes. Of the Social Democratic Front, all the way from Kumba. We are glad to have you in the studio.
Now the pleasure is mine. I welcome all our favorite listeners to get set and hear how we are going to digest some of the silent issues affecting our country.
You are coming from Kumba. Is Kumba today?
Well, Kumba, a lot of migration, people are packing their bag and baggages, leaving. You know, there's a lot of exodus. We don't know where they are going to. Whether they will come back, we don't know. Whether they will not come back, we don't know. But the exodus has reached an unprecedented proportion.
Okay, many people are leaving Kumba. We equally are in the company of Dr. Nick Ngwanyam. He is a social entrepreneur, an educationist par excellence, and a politician. Good day and welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm CPDM, he says SDF, so we'll be discussing issues, not emotions. We will try to be talking in a manner as to educate, you know, to inform each other so we get a clear understanding and we get some wisdom how we can go around our problems. Leaving emotions aside is just one of those things. We hope that we'll be able to deal with some of the issues as they are, and there's going to be no sujet taboo, but we'll try to go around them in a way that it makes sense without hurting anybody.
We are also going to be joined very shortly by the Secretary General of the CRM movement, Barrister Christopher Ndong. He is already around the studio. He's making his way up here to join us, as well as Salomon Bias, who is also on his way. Very shortly, he's going to be joining us. I start with you, Suleiman. Tell me, how did Kumba receive the sentencing of Ayutabe and others?
Yeah, and it was so sudden, shocking, and disappointing. The people never thought that with all the catalog of problems we're having in the country, with all the adjournment of cases, we never thought that the bombshell would come in the way it came. But in my own personal opinion, there's a general assumption which says Cameroon is a state of law. Cameroon is governed by good laws. But again, the sentences, the slam of the State Ayutabe and his colleagues did not come to me as a surprise, because it's a military tribunal. Anything can happen. Everything has been dictated upon. There's no rule of law. Due process of law is not been taken. It does not take place. So even if they were giving death sentence, it would not have surprised me, because it's a military tribunal. Anything can happen. It's something that is programmed. So Kumba people were so astonished, so disappointed, and they did not take it lightly with the verdict against the separatists. So I think we'll see. They say we'll see. Don't look, wait and see the aftermath of the verdict. But for now, there was no demonstration, no protest, no rioting. No vandalization of government properties. Everything is cool and calm. And as I said, it's a sit down look, watch and see how the situation will unfold itself.
Okay, Dr. Ningwanyam, you followed the procedure, and finally it came, like he says, a bombshell. I don't know why he considers it a bombshell, as if he was not expecting a verdict. Your take on that decision?
I followed the procedure in the sense that for over the months or the last 3 years, we've been seeing these people going to court and being brought back. And you know, each time they were going to court, there was lockdown on the other side of the nation. And so it became kind of like a tradition that this time around, you know, unexpectedly, as they say, you know, it just came out of the blues, and that it was. but followed the proceedings in the sense that I even bother reading the judgment. I've not done any of those. And I don't think I have any reason to read the judgment or whatever, because the outcomes are there. They have to pay, is it 250 billion francs? And they have to be in prison for life. So I was just asking myself the question, if someone is going to be in prison for life and die, why should he pay 250 billion again? Or is it that when even they die, their families have to pay the government 250 billion? I didn't understand, and I didn't care to bother. But this is it. This is it. You know, if you're a Christian, you know, when in the big and the small things, stay on the side of God and use the wisdom of God, and then ask God to give you understanding, because that's the only thing that can give you peace. We are looking for peace in the whole nation, but that peace is only in one place. And if you are not in the presence of God and you're looking for peace, you will never get it, because things will always be happening that will make no sense. And you would only have a sense of peace and understanding and direction if you are in the presence of the Lord. If you are not, forget it. Now, and when you're in the presence of the Lord, He gives you some words of wisdom. For instance, He says, everything happens for good to those that trust in the Lord. It's from Thessalonians. I can't quote it exactly, but it's from Thessalonians.
Doctor, is that your reaction to the...
Yes, yes. Just to tell people that sometimes something looks bad, but you know, God can turn all that thing that looks bad and frightening for your own good. We don't know what good is hidden behind it. But if we're to look carefully, we will see that there's always a silver lining in every cloud, and that's what we'll be looking out for.
Okay. The people of Kumba, you say they received it as a bombshell, or you?
It was shocking and disappointing.
It was shocking and disappointing, but the timing, was this the best time to pass the judgment?
That is what is even, that is the defeatist motive about the entire issue. Mm-hmm. We are now, the divisional officers, the sub-divisional officers are there now wooing parents to come to send their children to school for school resumption. People are beginning to have a change of mind so that their children might go to school. Suddenly a bombshell was thrown that Tezuka Yuktabi and now has been sentenced to life imprisonment, to pay a fine of 250 billion francs with a cost of 12.5 billion francs. If which they don't pay, they pay the extend 5 years jail terms again. That's a contradiction. So I think that alone has sent wrong signal into the minds of the people of Kumba to start thinking whether to send their children to school or not. The issue of sending children to school, despite all the effort put by the sub-divisional officers and the division officers to woo and convince parents to send their children to school, this judgment has tapped them from behind, has nailed them from the head, and I think Mr. Liu is only to wait and see whether these people are going to only to go and wait and see whether these people are going to change their mind and send their children to school. But for now, going to school in Kumba.
You think that the timing was not
the timing was absolutely wrong. It was absolutely, they were not supposed to throw that bombshell.
Okay, but the process has been going on for so long. Many people were also becoming
tired,
anxious, asking why they kept adjourning the case, why not end it, and finally when it was ended, people still think that it was not fair. Are we also not asking more than the government could offer?
If you are in a ship, if you are in a ship at sea, and that ship is sailing towards a cliff, it's sailing towards the cliff, and the only solution that you have to reduce the momentum is to throw off some cargo off the ship, otherwise you will crash. Then, if you've been keeping a lot of cargo and not dealing with it, and then things are piling on the ship, and the cliff is right there, then there comes a moment when you'll be throwing things that you ought to have thrown yesterday, you'll be throwing them off today. It's just an analogy to say that there were some things that we ought to have done yesterday so that we can have enough time to be doing things properly today. But the ship of state is in difficulties now, and there are some decisions that you must take now. And when you are taking them now, it clashes with some other things and causes this unfortunate situation. If they had been put into live jail 1 year ago, the anger will not be as it is now. And to have them sent to jail and then, you know, begging children to go to school all at the same time, it gives conflicting signals and makes the people angry. Though the government might have its reasons for doing it now, but we ought to realize, and I emphasize again, a stitch in time saves 9, and when you don't do the right things at the right time, you end up planting corn in the dry season.
We just have been joined by the Secretary General of the CRM movement, who equally was one of the members of council, defense counsel for Ayub Tabe, and co was sentenced to life imprisonment. Barrister Christophe Andong is in the studio with us all the way from Yaoundé, Cameroon's capital. Barrister, did you people see that as having lost the case?
You see, saying we lost the case is oversaying it.
Okay.
And as one of the counsels in this matter, from beginning till today or yesterday when the kangaroo decision came up, and it was a marathon they did alone. You see, I cannot, in my infinite quiet moment, regret the fact that somebody will say we missed the case. No. The case is marred with a lot of irregularities, violations of the law, violations of the rights of the defense, violations of national laws and international instruments. You see, we of the defense team, when we heard that they were being arrested from Nigeria to here, we started mounting up this defense strategy to see how that matter will not go on in this country because of certain legal instruments that makes it possible for these people not to be judged here.
Judgment has been passed.
Yeah, judgment has been passed. Judgment has been passed is because when you look at the very nature of the judgment, I was coming into studio when my co-panelist was trying to examine that decision. If you look at the decision, even the most stupid man on earth will know that. That decision, in fact, that judge should be ashamed. And Cameroonians, the judicial system, from the ministers to everybody should be ashamed of this country with its judicial system. You cannot, in a single day, a matter which, of course, needed time, procedure, due process must be followed. And it's because they are violating the process all the time that it took this time that it took. We have not entered the matter. How do you get into judgment when the matter was not done? That is what we are saying. Look at what happened. When they were brought, we started off, even in my office. We drafted the habeas corpus application. And I want to say here that it took the IG more than 1 month arguing on it. That no, it will not be a possibility. Say no. That habeas corpus will help bring the Ayub Tabes and solve the problems which Cameroonians are talking, government has killed them, government has done it. When they came out, we now said, okay, since they saw that the habeas corpus was going to produce some results against government, they quickly speeded up the criminal procedure before the military court.
Yep.
We filed in objections. These objections, we raised them in limitations. That is before the case starts.
Yeah, but judgment has been passed. Can we also see?
You cannot call that a judgment. You cannot. I cannot call that a judgment.
No, but they have been sentenced.
In the sense of it, I cannot call it. Look, listen, you cannot violate, you cannot violate the law. Those people cannot be judged without lawyers, and you say it's a judgment.
So
those people cannot be judged without lawyers.
I know you are the one who's supposed to be asking questions. If you say it was not a judgment, what you are also saying is that you will not go on appeal, or in the military court there's no appeal. I just want to know.
You see, the judgment is the judgment the way it is.
Yes,
but has not completed or gotten the legal ingredient to become a judgment.
So
we are going to appeal.
So we are going to appeal.
We are going to appeal.
A judgment.
No matter how useless the judgment is,
good.
We are going to go on appeal.
Great.
Because the judgment did not respect due process, and these are the elements we shall attack at the level of the Court of Appeal.
Yes, so
and we think that that judge was on pressure and he had to do what he had to do because he was given a time frame. to come out with a decision.
No,
And you saw the way he did it.
No. Barrister. You describe the court as a kangaroo court, but that is a court that you have been attending and you are going to be appealing to that court. But on the other hand, can we see that the judiciary wanted to free this whole issue from their hands, let the political continuity?
Yes, of course. I mean, the courts have been like that for a very long time. Even, is it Pilate or Caesar, the one that washed his hands? You know, this thing is...
Pontius Pilate.
It's Pontius Pilate. He washed his hands.
Yes.
Because he looked at the whole thing and, you know, he was caught between a rock and a hard place. And so again, I'm just insisting to say that as far as that court is concerned, they gave their judgment. And that judgment is bad or good. That's another story.
That's a judgment.
Yes,
that's
a judgment. And you are going to appeal against a bad judgment. I guess that's what is going to happen.
The same court, yeah.
Yes, or to a higher court. I don't know whether there's a higher court.
The same judiciary.
Judiciary and so on. So those are the issues. Your next question, I just wanted to clarify the facts.
No, I wanted you to comment on the fact that the judiciary saw this as a hot potato. And
it's a hot potato. You remember when I was giving my analogy of a ship of state moving towards the cliff and ready to crash, and until you throw off some cargo. That Tabe thing was Seseko Tabe thing was some cargo on the ship of state.
The judiciary wanted to
get it out of the way to lighten the ship.
It's not the judiciary wanted to. It is the military tribunal that
But
wanted to get rid of that particular case, that situation, which in their own viewing, they saw that there were many legal issues to be addressed before coming to the merits of the case.
And sometimes when you have a bad judgment against you with a lot of loopholes, it works to your advantage. So relax.
Well, waiting, we'll go on appeal because there is the appellate jurisdiction that will entertain the matter.
Great.
And by tomorrow, the defense team that have been working since the date of that judgment is going to file a notice of appeal. The grounds will come on thereafter.
It's going to file a notice of appeal, but is this also a strong message to those?
You see, under the common law, they say justice delayed is justice denied. That is why you see that a kangaroo court or window dressing court decided to hurry up and pass the judgment without even the consent and knowledge of the defense counsel.
In the House of Commons, we don't consider any court kangaroo court. Please.
But then the decision was justice.
So whatever you are saying,
the justice that was
what I'm saying
that
is
there was justice
what I'm saying is that even the defense counsel were not even notified that they are coming to hear the judgment. They only came to embarrass in court with the judgment. And look at the time they read the judgment at 5:38 a.m.
Can we come back to my question to you?
Yes, come back, sir.
Yeah, my question to you is that the judiciary here actually is complaining, especially guys like the learned barrister who says that, oh, it is not fair, it's not this, it's not that. But can we see in this a strong message to whoever wants to tamper with, because according to them, those who have been taken and sentenced are trying to partition this nation, they have taken up arms. Is this also in this judgment? Can we read a strong message to whosoever may want to tamper with the territorial integrity of the state?
No, I think I will say that, yeah, you see, there are reasons why this guy took arms. They were not supposed to take arms. They were supposed to follow the peaceful process through dialogue and discussion, so that no matter how contentious the problems are, they can be resolved through dialogue and discussion. But again, on the other side, it was not resolved in that way. All what we saw was military being deployed. Military being deployed to our regions, the Northwest and the Southwest. So the boys stood now in self-defense, because they're entitled to self-defense. So they said, okay, let them defend themselves too. Because
have you taken up arms, you?
No, I'm not.
You live in Kumba?
Yes.
Were you attacked?
No.
So why did you not take up arms?
No, because I'm not part of the guys. But I'm not part of the guys.
But
all what I'm telling you is that these guys were acting in self-defense. Because I did from inception. If this thing had started through dialogue and discussion, we would not have reached this ugly station where I am today.
Okay, the judgment has been passed. Barrister, you say you are going to appeal. But are you also foreseeing the possibility of pleading for clemency?
Which clemency? Clemency is not called up here. You see, there is no issue of clemency here.
You want to prove?
We are proving
that due process was not respected.
Due process was not respected.
Okay.
You cannot, with this magnitude of a matter, judge the accused persons without a lawyer, even after the lawyers that were there withdrew from the matter. The court was supposed to give them, either assign lawyers to them to be defended. The law, it is in the law. You cannot judge people for felonious crime without a lawyer. If the person cannot get a lawyer, the state will attribute lawyers to them. But President Ayuk Tabe in court addressed the court and requested for time, let them adjourn the matter, give them time to now get new lawyers to come and defend them, and the matter will go on. They were not against going on with the matter, but that their lawyers have gone out and they are left alone, and the matter before the law cannot be judged without a lawyer. And if a judge goes on and deliver a judgment without lawyers, in fact, it's a violation. It's not only national, it's international, regional. The laws are there, they are very clear. But we say no matter what came out from that judgment, it is subject to appeal as per the law. And as you rightly put the question to my co-panelist here concerning why they took up arms, listen, it is in the law, it is written in the penal code, self-defense. It is there. It is there in regional and international instruments. People have a right. It is acknowledged by the United Nations, European Union. All over the world, it is noted that if people have been pushed to the wall, they have a right to defend themselves. Just like a state. Another state might push another state to the wall. The state will have the last obligation to defend itself. And so therefore, what we should be looking here is what brought this problem, the crisis, and until Southern Cameroonians are in self-defense. It is a right. It's not a privilege, it's a right. And that is why other international bodies will recognize the self-defense that is carried out by Southern Cameroonians. And of course, if all comes to rest, they shall start identifying culprits, and people will answer.
Okay, they
will not go unpunished. They don't do this and they go would have been punished. People will be punished, and people will answer for all of this.
Okay, we have just been joined by Salomon Biasi, equally a militant of the CRM movement. We have CRM, we have the SDF, we have the CPDM.
Yeah.
In the House of Commons today, bonjour et bienvenue.
Bonjour, bonjour Léo, bonjour très cher panéliste Téné. Bonjour à nos millions de téléspectateurs qui sont scotchés sur la télévision Prime. C'est une édition pour le dimanche et je pense que ça augure quelque chose de bien pour qu'on essaye de défier les Camerounais sur un certain nombre de choses qui concernent la vie sociopolitique.
Vous vivez à Douala. Toute la semaine, vous avez eu à parler avec la société civile, les politiciens sur la condamnation à vie de Sékou Ayuk Tabe et les autres leaders. Qu'est-ce qu'ils vous disent?
Tout le monde est courroucé face à cette condamnation. Tout le monde s'oppose face à cette condamnation. Au vu du fait qu'on allait vers un processus qui était celui de la mise sur pied d'un dialogue inclusif et le processus de l'arrêt des hostilités dans ces deux régions. Compte tenu, n'est-ce pas, des pertes que nous avons déjà essuyées et dont le Cameroun ne va jamais oublier parce que ces pertes sont tellement énormes qu'elles vont sombrer le Cameroun, faire sombrer le Cameroun, n'est-ce pas, dans une mémoire collective de rétrospection automatique. Donc il y avait nécessité à ce que le gouvernement de Yaoundé, qui a toujours multiplié les chèques et les échecs dans les actions qu'ils ont posées, de faire un temps soit peu l'arrêt, essayer de voir dans quelle mesure on doit mettre sur pied quelque chose de bien pour sortir de la crise qui tue les Camerounais face aux Camerounais depuis près de 3 ans. Tout le monde constate la faillite et l'échec des gouvernants de Yaoundé qui n'ont jamais de solution à résoudre un problème. La société civile camerounaise est indignée. Les Camerounais dans leur ensemble sont indignés. La communauté internationale est indignée parce que la condamnation de Sékou Ayuk Tabe et les autres ne vont pas, n'est-ce pas, permettre à assainir le climat de paix et la possible résolution du conflit dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest en particulier et dans tous les problèmes que le Cameroun subit aujourd'hui en général. C'est pour ça que moi-même je suis indigné parce que j'aime le Cameroun.
Tu es indigné, ok. Doctor, Fabrice Lena, please, don't get angry that I'm asking questions. I want to clarify people. And when you say something, I ask you another question so that people understand better what you are saying. So I'm even glad to know that you're watching us from Yaoundé. Many people are watching across the globe. I'll take time off to read some messages. Doctor, Does this decision render the peace efforts by civil society organizations and other people more difficult?
Yes, you can say that. But again, as I said, people that trust in the Lord sometimes see a silver lining in a cloud. Now, even before you asked me the question, I was meditating on the seriousness of this punishment and what it means. You know, beyond the life imprisonment and the 5 years to be added to life, because I don't know if you have life imprisonment and that's what it is, then you add 5 years again for something, it doesn't make sense to me. Then on top of it, you add 250 billion. Okay, that's the package. But let me show the Cameroonians something from a Christian perspective. That's the punishment that has been dished out to these 10 people. But how serious is it? Let's think of those young boys or young girls whom they are met on the road with nothing, not armed, and they are just killed, and they don't even have an opportunity to express themselves. They paid the supreme price, and nobody asked them. That punishment is more than what Siseko and the others received. Am I correct on that? That you just meet young people and just shoot them and kill them. They have paid more than that. You know,
the ability or no opportunity to defend themselves.
There are thousands of those. So while we might be crying about what has happened to Siseko, let's remember that there's been a lot of injustice down the road meted to so many people, and that should stop.
Yeah, another point is that when you talk about peace, religious leaders have spoken about peace. Politicians have spoken about peace.
Civil society organizations.
Civil society organizations have spoken about peace. Human rights groups have spoken about peace. International organizations have spoken about peace. The United Nations has spoken about peace. The OAU has spoken about peace. The Commonwealth has spoken about peace. The Francophonie has spoken about peace. All it landed into deaf ears. Only on one ground that we should go for dialogue. It is an internal matter. It is not an external matter. Cameroonians are killing Cameroonians. Why should we be killing ourselves? Why can't we sit down one-on-one and resolve our issue amicably? Look, for example, today, look America today. They're talking with the Taliban after 40 years of fighting. They're talking with the Taliban today. After 40 years of fighting, the Americans have come down and said, this violence, this force doesn't pay. Let's go and talk. And now they're talking. The same thing if you go even in Liberia during the Samuel Doe and Johnson, ECOMOG forces came and restored peace there. They started talking. Look at Burundi, Rwanda. All contentious issues are going to be resolved through dialogue and discussion. It's not the use of force. Force does not pay. Violence does not pay. Because nobody has the monopoly of violence. Violence begets further violence. That is why you see the military with their experience, with their training, with the weapons they're having, they have failed to contain these Amber boys who are inexperienced, who are not trained, using den guns. Because they unleash their own violence in a different way. So what do? Let's go and sit in a round table and talk. All the contentious issues, let's talk. Boko Haram is there in the far north, disturbing people. Maurice Kamto is there, political tensions in the country. Maurice Kamto is there in jail with 6 years other applause. They are there in jail. Anglophone problem is there. The sectarian fighting in the Central African Republic between the Balaka and the Salakas affecting our brother in Eastern region is still there. We have contentious issues, Mr. Dr. Dick, so that we should sit down and talk. It is only through dialogue we can resolve this matter. Force will never, ever pay.
And to queue up.
Okay, yeah.
And to queue up, you see, the government we have in place is acting in absolute bad faith.
Okay.
Yes. They have not respected even one promise they have given to the Cameroonian people. The Prime Minister went around this country, that is the Northwest and South,
yeah.
preaching peace, he says, is coming from Paul Biya. Now, the question we should be asking, would this jailing of a people's leader, whom they have been fighting and telling you, that is my leader in prison, you jail him life imprisonment. Now, what do you make of that message of the Prime Minister? Those are the people to dialogue with. That is why at one television exposure I said, if the Prime Minister even took those people in prison and went up in public and said, these are your people. For the others that are gone, they are gone, we'll wipe our tears and see how we forge ahead. You cannot leave the people's leader in prison at your backyard. You come at the front door, you are preaching peace. Okay, look at the end results. Bad faith. It is showing that there is absolute bad faith. But then, as Dr. just said, he said, For every silver lining, every cloud there's a silver lining. It might be their thinking. But the problem in a conflict like this, bring your thinking to public.
That's it.
Don't hide your agenda. If you hide your agenda, people will misinterpret you. If they think that it is condemning these people to go to prison before they come to do clemency or la magnanimité, the chef de l'État and all of that, it does not have the same effect.
The CRM.
The fact that you have sentenced these people to life imprisonment, and it has a legal mind, the story does not end there because the judgment himself is a caricature and it's a laughter. As you rightly said, I was embarrassed in my whole legal life, 8 years in practice. I have never seen a judgment where they hinge sentence for life on a human being. When you say for life, then now you come and say pecuniary measure. If he dies and does not pay the 12.5, 5 years will be added. I don't know how it works. I don't understand how that will operate. It tells you that it was not a legal mind that passed or drafted that judgment. And the judge, I think at the end, read the thing. He said, let me read. After all, you people gave me, I'll read. He read it. He himself will sit back and look at the nonsense he has done. And of course, whether it's nonsense or it's sense, we will have to appeal. And as I repeat, we are going to appeal that judgment. The international community have seen what is happening. Business people want to operate in this country. When you see laws like that being violated at that degree, honestly, in short, it's a systemic problem. The system has outweighed its usefulness. It cannot match with the modern times of the 21st century. They should just shift. We have modern Cameroonians. 1 second, sir. We have modern Cameroonians who can take the mantle of leadership. They will going to satisfy the problems of the Anglophones and satisfy the problems of Francophones. Right now, we are at the point where there is no turning back. The Southern Cameroonians, from the slightest, that small piece of federation, has now moved self-defense for independence. How do you draw them back?
You are the Secretary General of a political party,
yes,
the CRM of Maurice Kamto.
Agreed.
You are preaching democracy now.
Yes.
You want democracy.
Yes.
Let us practice democracy on the panel here now.
Yes.
Let other people talk.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I needed more time to talk.
Okay. Let me give you more time.
Thank you.
But respect it. I'm giving you one extra minute.
Thank you.
You are the Secretary General of the CRM movement. Yeah. What has been the position of the party?
Concerning the party is really, really dissatisfied. In fact, we are flabbergasted. The thing is making one to think that, honestly, those who are there, they work for the masters, and they don't work for the people. Look at my president, Professor Maurice Kamto, who went through an election, elected the president of this country, has been jailed for nothing, no wrongdoing. It's the same thing. So when we look at it, we'll just say it's a systemic problem. This system should go away with the people who are in the system. If we don't do that, honestly, there is no way. Things will not change for any better.
Ok, Salomon Bias, le président de la République, ça fait des mois, il a tweeté qu'il fallait réconcilier les Camerounais, il fallait pardonner les gens. Est-ce que vous voyez que sa parole n'a pas été tenue ou vous attendez que, bon, maintenant que c'est fini avec la justice, le président va maintenant réagir?
Vous avez dit qu'il a tweeté? Je ne sais pas si j'ai bien compris. Oui. Monsieur Biya ne tweete pas. Monsieur Biya ne sait pas utiliser un ordinateur, suivez mon regard. Ce n'est pas lui qui tweete.
Non, on ne peut pas.
Je porte ça sur. Écoutez, je vais faire ce qu'on appelle. Je vais vous dire pourquoi. Okay. Il ne peut pas tweeter. Parce qu'en réalité, quand vous prenez l'exemple avec un papa au quartier qui a son âge et qui a vécu la même éducation qu'il a vécue, même en ayant une vie meilleure, on ne peut pas être focalisé en 2019 dans les tweets parce que ça n'a pas été son éducation. C'est pour ça que je pense qu'il y a tout un service informatique qui fait ça à sa place. Ce n'est pas lui-même qui le fait.
Il est mis au courant.
Et maintenant, quand j'ai fini de le dire, maintenant, ce qu'on a dit à l'intérieur de ces tweets, c'est fondé ou pas, au vu des résultats que nous voyons. C'est vrai, j'ai vu la dernière information qu'on a diffusée en démontrant parce que à l'intérieur de ce parti politique, qui est en même temps l'État, le gouvernement, la nation, la République, et qui a à la tête Dieu seul, pour qui tout est fait et en sa faveur et en son nom, on a démontré à suffisance que sa magnanimité a encore plané avec le fait qu'il a pu envoyer le fils d'un autre se faire soigner à l'intérieur. Si c'est dans ce sens pour démontrer effectivement que On doit condamner les leaders sécessionnistes afin de démontrer par la voie de la magnanimité du Dieu Tout-Puissant qu'il est le seul à faire et à défaire. Alors, moi qui suis soucieux de mon pays, je dis pourquoi cette perte de temps? Parce que entre l'instant où la condamnation est faite et l'instant dont la magnanimité du Seigneur Tout-Puissant va se faire, il y a des Camerounais qui tombent. C'est là ma préoccupation. Pourquoi les Camerounais devront-ils tomber de façon inutile? Et je peux comprendre pourquoi Barista est courroucé. Parce que celui qui aime ce pays doit être courroucé, énervé et même passionné. Pourquoi les gens, par la voie de l'égoïsme et de l'égocentrisme, du seul plaisir à ne penser qu'à eux-mêmes, peuvent prendre de mauvaises décisions tous les jours qui ne peuvent que conduire un pays dont le président Aïdjo a laissé riche et prospère dans la voie du chaos? Opposer les Camerounais contre les Camerounais dans le seul but de satisfaire leur ego, ça rend un homme très nerveux, surtout quand on aime ce pays. Et nous qui avons décidé de ne jamais quitter le Cameroun par quelque moyen que ce soit, parce que nous croyons encore à l'espoir qu'on nous a donné que le Cameroun c'est une Afrique en miniature. Alors nous pensons que nous devons décrier haut et fort ce qui se passe dans ce pays parce que ce n'est pas bien. C'est de ça qu'il est question.
Why are people actually very shocked at the sentencing by the military tribunal of Sisiko Ayub Tabe and others, where we have seen the same justice in Cameroon sentence former prime ministers, former ministers, big directors who did campaign for the government, who did campaign for the President of the Republic?
Well, you know, it's different. The other former ministers and who campaigned, those are thieves, all right? Those are thieves.
Okay. Call them thieves, yeah?
Well, that's what they said they were the embezzle, right?
Embezzlement is theft.
It's theft, and we don't see money, and we've seen a lot of you know, there's no money in the country. There are no hospitals built. There are no schools in the north, and so and we understand that those people stole, and actually we are waiting for the money. So just putting them in prison is not good enough. We need the money to be able to build schools for those people in the north and to do things and so on. I mean, you've seen pictures on social media, and that's what they told us, that they are thieves. So until they tell us that they are something else, as far as we are concerned, they are thieves. So the next question was something. Oh, why are people surprised? Yeah. Because those ones are in a category of thieves, and then this was in a category of a political problem. And a political problem, if we were actually trying to solve the political problem, it would have been solved a long time ago. So the question is, why are we waiting and turning around in circles and people are dying, and when this thing ought to have been thrashed, and you know, so the question is, when are we going to be doing the right thing so that we actually have peace?
In this decision, who do we blame, knowing that many people want the judiciary to play the role, to take a political problem, because like he said, this is purely a political problem. But now handled at the level of the judiciary, people want the political solution to be implemented in the court.
The problem is that our judiciary is not independent.
Okay, you think
they are not independent at all. There is a lot of interference into the judiciary, into the judgment of some, even at the level of the courts. You see, so don't talk of a military court where it has a program way of doing things. It is not, as I said, there is no rule of law there. There is no due process of law being respected. It's just a place where you just go there. I mean, they dictate to you. It's a program, like Barrister said. Even the judgment that was read, maybe that man was given judgment to read. He did not even take his pen to write judgment himself.
How does this sentencing help solve the problem?
Yeah, the sentencing, as I told you, it has aggravated the situation.
Okay.
It has aggravated the situation to an unprecedented proportion. It makes it so difficult for somebody from the northwest and southwest to understand and believe what the government is saying today, that they want people to go back to school. Though school is a human right, it's a right for everybody to go to school. But this thing has actually, as I said, it has tapped people from the back, and it has made people to go annoyed. So I think the government, maybe as Dr. Nick said, maybe clemency might come later. We don't know. Maybe it's a way that maybe the government might temper justice with mercy and render some mercy. But according to the barrister, he's saying that they are going to appeal. So we hope that all hope is not lost. If they're going to appeal, maybe something positive may come out of the appeal. Then that's where the government may tap at justice and say, okay, you these guys, you have suffered. Let us.
Since we are talking of appeal, you are part of the Defense Council for Ayuk Tabe.
Yes.
When are you people appealing, and what do you expect to be the outcome of that appeal?
I told you since the date of that decision, at 5:38 a.m. in the morning, the defense team, headed by Eta Bisson, Batuni Eta Bisson, and Senior Barrister Padillon, and myself and others, we've held series of meetings reflecting on, in fact, what is the next step forward. But by law, the law offers to us the possibility to go on appeal. So we are going to appeal that decision. And before taking this appeal to the appeal court still keeps our appeals they have not even heard. You now see the system. The system is, in fact, dysfunctional. We have appeals, 2 other appeals. The appeal court has not heard it. The Supreme Court has not heard it. The military court marshaled a decision and decided to condemn people. I don't know whether they know the gravity of taking somebody's whole life away from him.
The appeal is...
I don't know why a government like this does not have feelings for human beings. These people, they are innocent until proven guilty. There was no proof that was tendered to warrant the sentencing, because you would have allowed the people. They themselves did not talk in court. What kind of judgment is that? You are judging somebody whom you want him talk to give your whole side of the story. You didn't get it, but you had a sentence. So anyhow, those are some of the things we are looking at. So the appeal, we are filing a notice of appeal. Tomorrow, Monday, if they clear the lock all their offices, we will appeal tomorrow on Monday. Then the grounds of appeal will be properly prepared in serial order to explain the lacuna in that judgment, the violations of the law, and then, I don't know, is it running African Nations Cup? We did not hurry in that form. I don't know why they should hurry to give life imprisonment to people. There are people there in that system that should be having life imprisonment, and out there, not the Ayuk Tabes. This is a political problem. You don't transform a political problem to a judicial problem, and of course, worst it to a military court judging civilians who have status, refugee status. We have raised all of that. It is before the appellate jurisdiction. They have no answer to those legal issues. They know they cannot withstand us in any legal argument, because they have ganged up, cooked up, trummed up their charges, trump up their charges and put on the because they have the yam and the knife. We say no. We are going to go national and until international. The sky is our limit. The Defense Council, Ayuk Tabe and the rest, as long as they live, we are defending them. That decision, we are challenging it with all vigor, legal strength, and you will see what will happen.
You're also defending your national president.
My national president, yes, at one point I stopped because as Secretary General of the party, I should be thinking of the administration of the party. We should not be
mixing.
No, we should not be mixing things. We have lawyers of the party, and you see them in function. They are working. I am there to supervise and try to organize and see that the dates and all of that are told to them, even though the lawyers know it's not an insult on their person, but that they know, and I follow up the case as an administrator of the party. I cannot mix administration. I have my own private files. If I want to do my practice, I do my private files. And that is why you see me in the case of the Ayuk Tabes too, because that one does not disturb me from my secretarial function in the party. The party is well organized.
Ok. Néanmoins, il est bien vrai que la sentence a été lue. Et ils disent que c'est kangourou, que chacun décrit ça de sa manière, mais au moins que le dialogue et les efforts de paix continuent, les négociations continuent.
Le problème n'est pas là, Léo. Le problème, c'est que nos institutions le disent à suffisance, que nous sommes dans un régime démocratique. La moindre des choses dans un régime démocratique, de fait ou de droit, c'est qu'il puisse avoir une réelle séparation de pouvoir. Mais dans le cas du Cameroun, nous ne voyons pas cette séparation du pouvoir parce que le tribunal militaire, qui n'avait pas déjà qualité ou capacité à juger les civils, encore moins des civils qui sont, n'est-ce pas, dans un différend politique avec leur ordre gouvernant. Alors, quand on regarde ça, et même si on pourrait jeter un regard régalien sur ce type de justice, ou bien sur ce type, n'est-ce pas, de procédure, la seule chose qu'on pourrait relever, c'est qu'au moins quand on est face à la justice, il doit avoir au moins des principes cardinaux qu'on doit respecter. Le droit à la défense, le droit à un procès équitable, le respect des principes et des procédures que notre République elle-même s'est fixée. Et quand on va dans le fond, Léo, pour qui la justice est-elle rendue? La justice est rendue au nom du peuple.
Okay.
Et pour que la justice, ou pour que la décision de justice acquiert l'autorité de la chose jugée, il faut qu'on ait l'impression que la justice a été juste et qu'elle a été humaine. Et que les principes d'équité ont été respectés. Et dans ce cas, rien n'a été respecté.
Dans ce cas, rien n'a été respecté. We have to move over to our second talking point. Just glad to know that Akko Paul says, no place for the wicked. Fondon Richard says, Mr. Liu, practice real journalism. Allow barrister to talk and stand for the truth. Allow barrister to talk now, my brother Fondon Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Fondon.
I've taken note. Okay, Gilbert Brown says, what is wrong? Fabrice Lena says, Barrister Ndong, I salute your plausible articulations. Okay.
Thank you.
We're glad to also know that Mbaloko is watching from Canada. Valentine Bonwung is watching from the United States of America. I say greetings to you, Vali. And we are going over to our next talking point that has to do with the lockdown after this short break. You're watching the first edition of House of Commons on My Media Prime. This program is going to be yours every week at 12 noon to discuss on the issues that are touching on the lives of Cameroonians and see how we can propose solutions to them, articulate them, and give you also an opportunity to be part of it, express your views so that we read them out and share with Cameroonians. Once again, I start with you, Dr. Nick Ngwanyam. You have family back in the Northwest region. What are they telling you about the announced lockdown?
Well, I lived there, I was there, I just came back.
You're an IDP?
I'm an IDP, so I don't even need to ask the family to tell me what it is like, because it's been part of my daily life for a long time. And just to say that it's not comfortable, it's not a nice thing to go through, and to say that if people are going to be going for more than 2 weeks, lockdown like that is not funny, and we need to pray with them. Everybody is suffering, and you know, even the government will be suffering, you know, from this lockdown, directly or indirectly somehow. But the question we should be asking is, was it necessary? Could we have solved this problem in a manner that we don't have to be going through all these polemics? The answer is yes, and we never did what was right.
Okay. You are from Kumba. You left Kumba and in the heart of Ground Zero. When they announced about the lockdown, how is the atmosphere back there in Kumba?
Well, you see, this lockdown is not a new thing, because we know every Monday we go for a lockdown. We go for a lockdown every Monday. And because it was assumed that every Monday, that was when Seseko Ayoktabi and the others were taken to court. So every day they're going to court now, there's a lockdown. But now the lockdown has been transformed into a different thing.
Okay.
If there's anything that the government does against those in detention, Seseko Ayoktabi, you see, they extend the ghost town. We have gone for ghost town for 10 days. We have ghost town for 7 days, all because in protest of government decision against Sissoko Ayoktabi and the rest. But again, this decision, we the common people are feeling the pinch. We are feeling the pinch. The common man is feeling the pinch because just look at Kumba today, how mass exodus. People are leaving the town. People are leaving the town. The parks are all full. They are leaving the town. You see, people, their last dime, their last kobo, their last franc they have kept somewhere, they are taking it now only to send their children to school somewhere at exorbitant school rate, or maybe they are even leaving the town completely. Whether they will come back or don't come back, we don't even know whether they will come back. So, another issue again is the government is losing. Economically, people, Kumba is the road junction to the 6 divisions of the Southwest region. People go and buy from Douala. You come to Kumba, you go to Ekondochi, you go to Bonge. Now you cannot go. You go to Manfe, you cannot go. You go to Lebialem, you cannot go because of the dangerous situation we happen to find ourselves in, both sides of the eyes. So you see that even people now, I don't think people even pay taxes in Kumba because the taxation department is dry. If you go there, it's dry because people don't even pay taxes. Who do you come to accuse? Who do you come to confront to pay tax when the business is not moving? People get anything is not. Brazadis are packed out. Dangote and the rest are not coming. Cement is very exorbitant. Building materials are high. So you see that virtually the lockdown has a negative effect on the common man. Say when two elephant fights, the grass suffers. It is when the Amber Boys are fighting with the government, it is the common man down there who suffers.
Stray bullets can take...
Not even stray bullets. Stray bullets, innocent people are losing their lives every day. Amber people are losing their life every day. And even the military are losing their life every day. Some of them are losing their life. So I don't think it's a good idea. Lockdown is just a protest. It's a protest in the form of protest to tell the government that you people must go to dialogue. Let us go and sit and talk this issue. Will you that big brother attitude of government, that pride of government that they are able to say and we follow? No, the people are telling them that no, sir. We have to talk.
Barrister, I'm sure you've gotten information about the lockdown. Some say it starts tomorrow, others say it starts on the 2nd. At the level of the CRM movement, did you have a meeting to give an opinion on it? Or as Defense Counsel for Ayuktabi, you think that the population is supporting our stance?
Yes, the problem is I will leave CRM out of this because it's a purely two people problem.
Okay.
When two people are fighting, everybody has a strategy to his fight. These Southern Cameroonians have now resorted not to be applying too much force because he lost his lives. So they go by their own style of civil disobedience, which they think pinches on the government. But again, it affects the private lives of their own very people they intend to protect. But for everything, people who fry egg always tell you before you eat egg, you must break the egg.
Yes.
You cannot eat the egg with the shells. So that civil disobedience for that period, what worries me now is the fact that we're having 2 communiques. If I have any worry, it's that 2 communiques. And if you take the 2 communiques into consideration, we're closely going to be 1 month on a lockdown, which is very, very painful to the ordinary man. And I was leaving Boya to come to this studio. In fact, people are packed up vehicles, you see mattresses, think they are carrying things out of Boya. Southwest region, not only Boya, Southwest region.
You've seen pictures from Bamenda.
From Bamenda, the same. Jumping into Bafoussam, Yaoundé, Douala. In fact, it is to show you that the government is the person to take the first step to see into it that these things don't happen again. Their treasuries will be dry, and it is dry. But they have their tendency of carrying money from one end to go and feed the other end to show that health is good that way. No, it is not moving. The people, okay, if the separatists decide now, say, okay, no lockdown, but now confrontation every day, they will not sell their people as it is happening. Each time they attack, the military now will all come and be killing innocent civilians. So they are struggling to curb that killing. And that killing by going through a civil disobedience, which is very peaceful. But then it touches the people's private life too. It is painful. But look at the situation. They too, they are in war. It's painful to be in a war. So it is a participatory approach. Each person will have to participate one way or the other. It's a participatory approach on the lockdown issue. But I'm not saying that I encourage lockdown, but know that I cannot determine what strategy for a party to fight a war. So that is their strategy. Government has its own strategy.
Vous avez certainement vu, il dit qu'il vient de Boya cet après-midi. Presque tout le monde est en train de fuir. Kumba, c'est pareil. I'm sure you can ascertain that many people are leaving Kumba. Yeah. We've seen the pictures from Bomenda. Almost everybody is leaving the city. Vous croyez que les gens vont beaucoup souffrir à cause de ça?
Mais bien sûr que les gens vont souffrir. Et la souffrance va de façon graduelle. Elle est même en train de devenir atroce et même invivable, Léo. Quand on vous sort dans votre écosystème par force, et qu'on vous pousse à vivre dans un autre écosystème dont vous ne maîtrisez pas les tenants et les aboutissants, on vous pousse au suicide. Et c'est pour ça que nous avons toujours demandé, nous les apaisés, les hommes politiques éclairés, nous avons toujours demandé à ce gouvernement de mettre de côté l'orgueil et la recherche de la satisfaction personnelle, à démontrer qu'on est le seul maître qui décide à temps et à contre-temps, on est omnipotent. Qu'on mette ça de côté parce que l'utilité de la gouvernance, c'est de mettre l'homme au centre des décisions. Et dans le cas échéant, la condamnation de nos leaders a conduit automatiquement à la prise des décisions que nous voyons aujourd'hui. De façon plus rude encore, moi personnellement, j'ai vu une vidéo qui portait l'empreinte des forces de défense ambazouniennes et qui déclarait effectivement que les lendemains ne seront pas meilleurs. Lesquels lendemains? Pour les qui? Ce sont les Camerounais qui vont périr dans cette guerre inutile. Maintenant, les deux régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest vont devenir comme des déserts. Est-ce là le but de nos gouvernants de Yaoundé de transformer le Cameroun en un désert? Est-ce là le but de la gouvernance mondiale de transformer les pays ou certains espaces de pays en désert où les Camerounais ne peuvent pas vivre? Moi, si on me demande d'aller à Kumba, aujourd'hui à Bamenda ou à Lébial, je ne peux pas. Pas parce que je n'aime pas. Mais c'est qu'en fait, si j'y vais, je cours le risque d'être buté. Buté comme d'autres Camerounais qui tombent tous les jours sur le feu nourri des balles des séparatistes et des forces de défense camerounaises. Et nous condamnons ça et nous disons non. Déplacer tous les Camerounais de la zone du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest sur le seul prétexte de l'orgueil, c'est quelque chose qui n'est pas...
Qui est en train de les déplacer?
Mais bien sûr, ce sont les mauvaises décisions que le gouvernement prend qui poussent les forces sécessionnistes à se rétracter et à se radicaliser. C'est de ça qu'il est question. Okay. Nous ne pouvons pas être dans un pays où on dit qu'on s'avance vers le dialogue inclusif. De façon superfétatoire et plein d'orgueil,
okay.
Vous condamnez les seules personnes qui sont en même d'apporter l'apaisement parce que ce sont des leaders dont les gens s'identifient.
Okay.
Et ce sont des Camerounais.
Mr. Koum, we cannot see the number well to comment. Please adjust your camera. I want to talk to my brother from Hausa Quarter. Kumba, okay? I don't know. It's Mr. Takang is the one who is writing. I don't know. I think something should be done to get the numbers clearer. The message is gone. Good afternoon to all the panelists in the studio. It is obvious that a price has to be paid for every achievement. But I wonder whether the one we have paid isn't enough yet. People propagating these lockdowns do not directly suffer from their associated effects. Let's limit these unproductive moves and embark on things that protect the interests of the common man. Mebu Joseph writing from Boya. Good evening. We are glad to know that you're watching. Hi, Mr. Leo Carlson from Douala. The sentencing of Sisisiku and others is a proof to show that the government of Cameroon is in control of the situation and not to disprove outsiders who thought the government was afraid. He who uses a gun to solve issues must prepare to die by the gun. Okay. Let me take a few. Hello. I must admit that it's the less privileged that suffers more on this issue. Samuel is writing from Bomenda. No. This one has nothing to do. A better future, then let's let our children go to school. Ndufong is writing from Yaoundé. Okay. Says this lockdown will not help. The government should do something. Okay. This one says schools should resume, please. This one says the lockdown is really of no use. They say it will cripple the economy after it must have killed us here in the northwest and southwest. What has all the bloody ghost town done in the economy? These are reactions. Clearly, the televiewers say the lockdown is not helpful. If you go by what people are writing here.
Well, I think for every situation, there are always points for and points against. So yes, we can argue, we can keep arguing about that to say, oh, it's useful, or it's not useful. But again, the bottom line is there was a way of coming out of this a long time ago, and we didn't have to be here.
In addition to that, how does this enhance the cause? I'm talking about the struggle. How would this help advance the cause?
Again, it does not necessarily advance the cause, but it shows that people are angry. It's just a way of expressing their anger because they have no other tools to use to express their anger. And what we ought to be doing now, what government ought to be doing now, is looking for ways or means of solving the problem and solving them good.
Okay, government should look for ways of solving the problem and solving them. Who suffers from this decision, the government or the people, the common man?
The both parties.
Okay.
Both parties. Because the both parties, the only way they can speak loud is to go on this ghost town. Because this ghost town is the only way to paralyze the economy of the country. Because, as I told you, taxation, the money government is getting from the northwest and southwest region from taxes, it has fallen too much. And it's affecting the government. Whether the government will not come out to tell you that it's affecting them. But at the same time, again, that is the only way these boys can, because they cannot face the military one-on-one.
Okay.
They cannot face the military one-on-one. They just have to embark on tactical moves so that they can subpoena the government to come to the table for dialogue and discussion. So I think all what I would say is that both parties are suffering. They are getting the heat. The common man is suffering and the government is suffering. But again, at the same time, if these boys were able to confront the army face to face, the common man will not have suffered. But they have to use their own tactical means to make sure that they subpoena the government, that government should know that it is not in control. It's not in control of the Norway and Southwest. This is why that you have fleets of military guys moving up and down with China and police. There's some degree of control. Those Amba boys are trying. They have some degree of control in the Norwest and Southwest region. If not so, I don't think the army will have just got it easy and quelled down the whole situation.
By thousands of people are living Manu Division, Libya Lem, Dunga Mantung, Menchum, across the northwest and southwest region, and are fleeing into the west, center, south, littoral, and all the regions. Some people politically, I don't know how the CRM say it, but some politicians say it as rather fostering national integration.
No. Then that is a negative thinking. It should be looked at it at this angle.
Okay.
That government has failed in having control over its people. And that there is a people who, when they open their mouth to say, do this, it is applied at 100%. Yesterday, the government, through its agents, have tried, like towns in Boya, in some other parts of the country, fighting to make people not to obey that order. It's a strong-worded message for government to understand that these people you see, like they are a resolute people, are a people, they are determined to get what they want, and until they get it, no matter how long it takes, they will arrive at their decision. And that decision is what? If government feels that it is that government that has that force, that military, that and can control, just look at a simple ghost town. People obey it up to even those who are not in for the cause. Administration itself obeys it. A part of the military people who come out because they have guns. who does not obey it, the government would have understood that that message is a very strong signal, and that those people, what it may be or not, let me call them, let's talk. Government is not having the will to dialogue with these people. As my brother on my left rightly said, this same problem, war, crisis have been in Rwanda. The people sat and talked. Vietnam and all, the people are talking. In the Middle East, they are talking. Why is ours something where government will say, we cannot?
Can I cue you in again? Now, when people leave these regions in their thousands, are they respecting the lockdown?
They are respecting the lockdown because they cannot stay where famine, hunger, activity will be blocked. That is automatic. Activity will be blocked. So, in order to make government feel the
how are they respecting
we will come
when
and press. We will come and press the already overloaded towns to be overloaded, so that the people will start crying from that overloaded area, and that solution will be coming. I've told you it's a strategy. It's a mechanism.
Yes. I want to answer your question about national integration.
Yes.
National integration, living together, peaceful coexistence. These are words
slogans.
These are words that they use because our brothers of the littoral, of the center, of the south, of the west are receiving our Anglophone brothers without any rancor, without any problem, without any hatred. They receive them, they come, they receive them, they don't disturb them. That's why the protagonists of living together, national integration, and peaceful coexistence, they are saying that this is the time we see the manifestation of national unity and national integration. Because our brothers of the littoral, of the west, and the center are receiving them without any problem.
It has never been a problem. It has never been a problem for us living together, integrating, interacting. It has never been a problem. It is the system now that is trying to create the divide and rule, and now struggling to create problems here and say, when you are running there, it's national integration. We can be in national integration, unity, and the rest in diverse localities. We must not go all to Douala, Yaoundé, Kumba, all of that to stop of national integration. Let us not take these divisive and deviative tendencies to plow in our head and begin to talk things that as if we are sardinas. Sardinas, as I heard, is a fish that does not have head.
But again, we are promoting democracy.
Yes.
And we are not promoting hate speech. When you call people sardina, they call you tontina. It's not good now.
No, it is not good. But the system makes those things to
oui,
be good.
Je disais tantôt qu'en fait, quand on est dans une guerre fratricide comme celle-là, qui oppose deux belligérants qui partagent le même écosystème, parce que le gouvernement de la République, les forces de défense sont camerounaises. Et ces gars qui ont eu marre de la gestion de ce pays et qui se sont radicalisés, c'est des Camerounais. Chacun utilisant sa stratégie.
Oui.
Nous devons constater que les forces de défense camerounaises ont le monopole de la violence légitime. Oui. Parce qu'ils sont protégés par les institutions. Mais de l'autre côté, ils ont leur part de façon de fonctionner. Maintenant, l'homme est au centre de tout ce fonctionnement. Quand on parle du lockdown et qu'automatiquement on voit la population qui s'en va et qui déménage avec un exode massif et brutal, on pourrait penser qu'effectivement, le lockdown prend le dessus sur les décisions du gouvernement. Alors, face à un gouvernement dont les décideurs sont crédibles et légitimes et qui mettent l'homme au centre des décisions, devrait comprendre qu'en réalité, il n'y avait pas matière à s'entêter parce que la décision que ces gars prennent ont prépondérance sur les sorties du gouvernement. Fermant de prime abord le fonctionnement des institutions, nous savons bien que les sous-préfets et certains responsables de l'administration fuient ces zones pour s'installer ici, gouvernant ces zones à distance. Quels sont donc ces gouvernants ou bien ces chefs de service public qui fuient leur poste de responsabilité en disant aux citoyens qui n'ont aucun moyen de défense de rester? Ce n'est pas possible. C'est pour ça que si l'administration elle-même est paralysée, alors qu'elle a l'expression légitime de la violence, alors la population qui n'a aucune force de se défendre est obligée de s'enfuir. Et c'est pour ça que c'est visible dans le monde que... Mais ils s'enfuient effectivement parce qu'ils ne sont pas protégés. Parce qu'ils savent que même les forces de défense ne peuvent pas les protéger.
Protéger contre qui?
Mais contre toutes ces forces qui sont... Nous savons qu'il y a des... N'est-ce pas, des groupes de pression dans le nord-est et le sud-ouest. Nous savons qu'il y a des groupes armés qui ont pris corps depuis que cette crise, n'est-ce pas, prend corps, il y a des groupes armés qui se déploient là-bas et qui sèment la terreur. Tout le monde le sait. Ce n'est pas un secret de polichinelle. Et la population aujourd'hui, qui n'est pas protégée, n'a que pour seul moyen de s'enfuir. Et quand ces leaders-là prennent décision de dire qu'il y a lockdown, de dire qu'il y a ville morte, alors vous croyez que un Camerounais qui n'a aucun moyen de se défendre doit faire quoi, Bamenda? Il doit partir. Et ça leur aide à mieux faire passer leur message parce que leur objectif, en réalité, c'est de paralyser la vie.
Okay, Dr. Nick, you are a social entrepreneur. You've seen the videos and images coming out of the Northwest and Southwest region, mothers, young children in their teenage, coming over this way where you are also living as an island. What would be the possible activities that some of them are going to engage in, and how is this going to help reshape their futures?
No, thanks. Before I even answer that question, I just want to correct something that I read on social media today, because, you know, some people are looking at those pictures of people moving out massively, and people who are not truthful to themselves, or no, let me stop that sentence there and correct something. People are moving for two reasons. If you have looked back in times of peace, when schools are going to reopen, people move. All right, people move during school reopening and they move during Christmas times and New Year. So there's always this movement that we've noticed. But schools are just going to reopen and people are actually moving. But if you looked very carefully, there are two reasons why people are moving. It's not only one. There are some people who are moving genuinely because they have to go and attend, go to school out there or something. All right, but some people are also, that mass has been increased by people who are moving because they don't feel secure where they are. There are people who are moving with that mass to go to school on the Francophone side, who would have loved to stay and go to school where they are because they're in their ecosystem. So there are all these forces that are driving people out of the region, and I don't want some people who are very crafty and very smart to always try to rob things, drag things under the carpet for a political reason or whatever. Let's be truthful. Now, that said, remind me again about your question.
What would be the possible activities or outcome of this movement on the lives of many young?
This is the problem. This is the problem, and it's a huge problem that we ought to be looking at. The question looks simple, but it's very devastating. You know, when you look at it. You know, I was listening to Bear talking, because when he's speaking in French, I hope that many of the Anglophones were following, but I'm glad he explains a lot of things in French so that Francophones can be following too. He used a very powerful word, ecosystem. You need to understand what he means by ecosystem. Ecosystem is that place where you feel at home, that place where you dwell with your spirit, that place where you have your cocoyam and you know how the cocoyam is doing every morning. That place where when you get up in the morning, you know where your next meal is going to come from. That place where you feel secure. It might just be another person passing in the Prado would think, what is that man doing in a hut? But in reality, that mama who's living in that hut is in her ecosystem and is very comfortable. That's why you will notice that when you have our parents who leave and go visit their children in the US or wherever, or even in this Yaoundé, after 1 week, it's like, I'm going back home. And you say, what are you going to do home, mama? No, I'm going back home. Because when she goes back home, she is at ease with her spirit. It's called the ecosystem. And when you move someone out of his ecosystem, whether he likes it or not, and send him to another ecosystem, you destabilize that equilibrium. You can give him all the mattresses and the tons of rice and whatever you want to give him, and tents. It's just a temporal situation. And the best you can do for that person is get him back to his ecosystem. And as long as people are out of the ecosystem, a lot of things are out of, they will not work. What am I saying? Someone who was selling his puff in Bamenda and doing his tornado in Bamenda and earning his money. Now you displace him, he comes to Douala, he's in a new environment, he doesn't longer have that place where he's going to put his pot and fry his puff. You know, there are many things that he has to grapple with. He doesn't, so there is a lot to deal with. And it doesn't matter what you want to do, it's not as easy as it sounds.
Okay, it's not as easy. Many of your friends are also living Kumba?
Yeah, when people are displaced, Let's say they come to Douala, Banga, Penjalum.
Yes.
You
What are
see,
some of the stories we hear?
yeah, they have 1, feeding problem. 2, accommodation problem. 3, health problems. These are what is confronting them. You see, these are what some of the things that is confronting them. And they don't even know how to solve it. Even the rights to eat is not even there. They're even looking for the crumbs to eat. The crumbs are not there. These are some of the problems when they leave. They come here. Especially if they come to big city like Douala, like Bonaberi, like this, they are suffering too much. So I think on the other side, economically, they have to boost the economy of the place. Because they have to boost the economy of the place. You see, they bring in some small cash. They buy things. They try to do businesses, no matter how local it is, to sustain living. I mean, they boost the economy of the place.
Okay, there is something that seemingly we have never been looking at it. There is actually movement from the northwest and southwest region towards the francophone areas of Cameroon. You are a traditional ruler. That is something I did not do in my introduction. You are a traditional ruler of your
in my village, in Munting village in Wum.
Yes, in Menchum division. Yeah. You are the Secretary General of
the Cameroon Renaissance Movement.
You are an elite of Menchum.
Yeah.
Are communities in the respective towns, you live in Yaoundé, are you as a community also preparing to receive this mass movement of people?
It's very capital with the nature of an Anglophone. It's hospitability. The Anglophone is hospitable. The Anglophone feels for his brother. The Anglophone is receiving. And you see, as I wanted to add to what my brother just said, it's not only those difficulties he has cited. There are others that go with, when they cannot meet up with those things, crime.
Exactly.
It starts. Prostitution, it starts. You expose our children to all of these dangers. You see, these are some of the small things. They turn out one, they will become beggars. The nature of an Anglophone is not a beggar.
Exactly.
An Anglophone is a hard-working man. You just need to keep him in a small space environment. He exploits it. Either he's farming, to get his daily feeding, he does not care for much money. We needed just the basic minimum. And we are dying to come and begin to rotten up here, congesting people in cities. You look at those children we shall transport and bring here, we cannot be able to pay. If in a primary school in my village, they pay 1,000 something, a parent will cry and does not even have to pay. What will he be doing in the city with children that will go and start their registration, 25,000, 50,000? Where will he get the money from? Of course, coming in new, one relative will only help you give you food. And now we'll go for food like rice, what is, you can buy a bag and keep and people begin to manage. But tomorrow, you have to look space for where they will be pushing out that food they are eating. It becomes a problem where you are renting. You know, there are some landlords that will not permit you with so many people in their house. You see, you will fill my toilet. We know all of those dangers. But then, government remains mute. That is the curious thing about it. Government is mute. On the contrary, government is happy. In the evening, he shall send police and gendarmes to come and arrest. Now you come, you have a barrier of language. You are quickly identified. You are quickly sent to prison. And that's why you find most of them in Douala, Yaoundé, Konsamba, all over in Francophone zones. In prison. They are crying out there, what have I done to be in prison? I was only running here for refuge. I have not committed any crime. You even have your ID card, they arrest you, seize it, and keep it, and then charge you for no ID card. It's horrible. These situations are all horrible. Go and listen to them in prison. Let them explain you why they are there. You cry. You shed tears. And when you come out, how will you not be a revolutionist? You can revolt. But then, the repression, the rate of repression, the people do it with impunity.
Okay.
They do all of it with impunity because nobody is accountable. Nobody will ask somebody, why do you do this inhuman act on a human being?
I want us to look at the receiving end. Ici, à Douala, dans votre communauté, est-ce que déjà vous sensibilisez les gens à être disponibles pour recevoir les frères qui vont venir?
Les Camerounais dans l'ensemble, comme venait de dire Barista, encore plus les anglophones sont très hospitaliers.
Oui, mais ici...
Mais comment accueillir les gens et être capable de les gérer dans un environnement où le SMIC est égal à 36 000? Est-ce que vous savez qu'au Cameroun, un ministre de la République a démontré qu'on peut vivre avec 36 000? Comment croyez-vous que vous pouvez être à la hauteur de recevoir des gens qui sont dans une situation aussi délicate, impérieuse, où il y a nécessité dans la santé, dans la nutrition, dans l'encadrement, dans la scolarisation, et pour leur donner un abri, déjà que vous-même vous êtes incapable de trouver cet abri. Vous croyez que c'est possible? Alors, vous les exposez à ce que Barista a très bien précisé, la délinquance, le vol, la prostitution et la mendicité dans le sens général du terme. Voilà donc les fléaux que les mauvaises décisions prises par nos gouvernants de Yaoundé exposent de façon ostentatoire les Camerounais sur le plan général. Le mal va aller de façon grandissante. Et nous sommes en train de nous diriger tout droit vers un chemin de non-retour. Vous croyez que quand, moi je suis par exemple à Douala 3e, quand vous arrivez à Douala 3e, vous avez l'impression que vous êtes au Cambodge dans les années peut-être 20. Les parapluies partout, les call-box partout, toutes les rues sont inondées.
Okay.
La démonstration certaine de la pauvreté ambiante.
Okay.
Dans un climat comme celui-là, les Camerounais peuvent vivre comment?
I end with you. It is true, things are very, very difficult, but I'm sure you as somebody who would want to look at the positivity in every difficult situation.
Correct.
There should be a word you have for those who are migrating, especially young boys and girls. How do they survive in the difficult terrain as explained by him?
Thank you very much. I'm talking to all the young men and girls who leave and come over here. First, I must say that I feel for you. I understand what you're going through. We all understand what you're going through. It's a very sad situation, and we're hoping that our government will do what it takes and do the right thing so that, you know, you can find comfort soon. But again, sometimes when nature pushes you out of your comfort zone, it's an opportunity that you can take and open up your eyes and move out of that comfort and realize that your mother is no longer there to be giving you free food. There's no room for free food. And you have to look for ways and means of surviving in a decent way. And there's no way of surviving if you cannot work. So look for, you know, forget about your pride. Look for ways and means of earning a living in an honorable manner. Do what you can. Do whatever you can to survive in an honorable manner. Make sure you don't put yourself against the law in whatever way. Do whatever you can to survive, and above all, learn a trade. And then, as you've fallen to the ground, the Lord is going to pick you and you rise again. Trust me, trust your God, it shall be well.
That was Dr. Nick Ngwanyam. He is a social entrepreneur, an educationist par excellence, and a vision bearer of St. Louis University.
St. Louis University Institute. Thank you very
University
much. We're
Institute.
in Bonaberry now.
Okay, you're in Bonaberry.
Yeah, we're in Bonaberry.
The campus has taken off?
Yes, we're putting a few things together. We were in Denver last year. We were renting, and now we have moved our structures to, our stuff and our institution to Bonaberry between Carrefour Music and Nestle on the right, you know. So
Is it true you provide the best health education?
I don't know, except you did a poll and that's what they said, but I try to do my best, and if I'm the best, I'm not surprised.
Why are you getting into agriculture?
Oh, agriculture. Agriculture is a great opportunity for us to create 2 million jobs for youth in a very short time. You know, it doesn't make sense that we are a beautiful country, beautiful, fertile ground, good rains and so on, and we import Chinese rice, we eat Chinese rice and Chinese food when God has blessed us. And the Chinese come and buy our land and grow the rice. So something is wrong with us, and I want to change that around and teach our youth, especially the boys and girls, to use machines and so on to produce what we need. So we stop buying from others.
Doctor, I've given you 2 minutes to advertise. I hope you remember me after this.
Well,
program.
yes, of course. You know that I'm doing this for the sake of the youth, and you need to pay only 200,000 francs, and you are trading.
Okay. Also in the program with us was Salomon Bias. He is a jurist and a militant of the CRM movement. Thank you for coming.
C'est un honneur pour moi, Léo, de toujours venir sur ce plateau pour essayer d'apporter ma modeste contribution. Si un temps soit peu, nous pouvons avoir malgré qu'ils soient illégitimes, qu'ils puissent comprendre qu'il y a des Camerounais qui veulent que ce pays avance et que la nécessité pour les gouvernants, c'est de travailler au nom du peuple. Et si à un certain moment donné, vous vous rendez compte que le peuple ne vous veut plus, vous partez et vous laissez la possibilité à la société de se régénérer.
Okay, we equally were in the company of His Royal Majesty Christophe Andor, Secretary General of the CRM movement. He equally was part of the Defense Council, is part of the Defense Council for the Ayuk Tabi-led team. We are glad you left all the way from Yaoundé to be part of this program.
Thank you, and of course it's a privilege. This is my second outing here on Prime.
My Media Prime?
Media Prime, and of course I'm calling on the system in place to be able to give solutions to the problems plaguing this country. It's above them honorably. They should resign one after the other and leave place for others and look at what they are doing. It's not the best. I want to say that my president, Professor Maurice Kamto, is in prison. He has done them nothing because he won them in an election, and now he wants his position.
Right.
They are blocking off his position
Yeah,
and imprisoning
you
him.
people must talk
So
about
you see,
their party.
No, the party is there. Kicking strong, wasking strong.
Okay, okay.
And sooner or later,
Also,
we are going in for all elections. I take this with the, in fact, taking as witness one of my militants of Yaoundé, Douala 3.
Douala 3, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mohamed Suleiman, all the way from Kumba, 2nd district of the Social Democratic Front.
Yeah, I think I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure. This is my second time appearing before this program. I think we are contributing our own best to educate, sensitize, and inform the public so that they should know what is happening. But on the overall, I think the cement will bind us together as Cameroonian, whether Anglophone or Francophone, this common nationality. And we should see ourselves from that perspective. And I also believe in the corporate existence of Cameroon as one country, one nation, one entity.
Okay, we want to say thank you to you, Desmond and Eli and Jerry. We want to say thank you to Tabi Tambe Bryant, who is supervising our activities out here. Please take a rendezvous with us today, 9 p.m. live. We are going to be receiving Barrister Agbobala. We talk about the sentencing, we talk about back to school, we talk about the lockdown.